Hello everyone, the Honest Collector here to give you the truth on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool action figure here. I know this isn't like the newest figure, but there's some figures that I got while I was gone. So we're just going to be playing a catch-up day, and posts will be coming out more consistently. But right now, I want to dive into this figure because I wasn't expecting it to be great, despite already having the one from the first movie or second movie, I guess. Which it's weird because I wasn't expecting it to be great, but the first one was. I actually really enjoyed the first one, and there is a review of that one up on my channel if you want to go check it out. There's a playlist full of reviews from different companies, so whichever one you're into, if you see it there, then you could just dive right in. But he is on there from the first movie, and I actually enjoyed him a lot. I went into all the detail about that one, and I'm going to do the same with this one. But wherever something's come across, because a lot of people are saying, oh, this is the same one. It's... okay, he fell. Oh, this is the same one, that it's just a repaint. And that's actually not true, like, at all. There actually is a lot of new to this figure. I'm going to get the other one now. There is actually a lot that's new. And I don't know if you can tell already, but I mean, aside from the color, but yeah, there's definitely some stuff to go over here. So first, let's dive into the box here. And some people have complained about there being an overusage of the same exact picture, and I 100% agree. I mean, this is cool. I like the background a lot. The whole snicked sound effect, and the rainbow, and some claw strikes that you could see through the box here. So it's very cool, very like sketchbooky, which I always love that. You have Deadpool right here. That's on the side with the arrow pointing. I think that's hilarious. It's covering something. I don't know what, but it says ages 14 and up because the movie that this is based off of is rated R, of course. Then you have Deadpool on the side here with a pin, which is okay. And then you have Deadpool on the back here with the pin. Also look for, and then you see the other figures in the wave there. I'm probably not going to get I find it funny that they don't even show Logan. They just show Deadpool. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. It's a joke about it's the Deadpool and Logan. But yeah, so here it says, having hung up the Deadpool suit after a midlife crisis, Wade Wilson is forced to wield the katanas once again to save his universe and finally find a higher purpose. I actually really love that bio. I think that actually sums Deadpool's journey up perfectly. We're just going to take that tape off there. But yeah, so overusage of that same photo would have been cool to get some variety because this suit poses really well. So yeah, on the top you have the Deadpool logo that's slashed through with Wolverine's logo there with the claws, which I find really, really cool. Nothing on the bottom but the barcode. I got this at a GameStop. So yeah, they were just stacked with the Deadpool. So yeah, I mean, I showed you the sides already, so let's get into the actual figure. And like you saw before, here he is, and he looks amazing. He actually looks really good. I think the proportions are really well done, like they were on the first one too. The proportions were also pretty good, and this was a really good figure overall. This is the Legacy Collection one, which I've heard to be a little more shiny than the other one for some reason. And immediately diving in, yeah, there's some different floating pieces. There's some different straps and stuff. Even the gun holsters are different. This one's way more soft, while this one just looks like way more complicated and has more ridges and stuff. So yeah, there's that. And then the belt is completely different as well. This one's more of an actual logo, while this is just buckles that tie into making the logo, which I actually really like this, and I kind of like it better because it is a little cleaner than this belt right here. However, the gold accents are painted really nicely on this one, as you can see here, and the gold across the figure itself is just really nice to look at, and it's just a really nice touch to the figure that makes it seem a little more TVA-esque. And then you can see on the hands as well, it's done really good. And there's a lot of stuff to cover about this figure. There's a lot of sculpted detail, which it's a completely different texture. The thigh shape is completely different. This one's way more soft, not as brute looking, not as muscular, which I think this does look more accurate, so that's okay. And then let's see, butt is pretty flat. Yes, this is like the only figure that I really care about that. But yeah, so you could see the baby knife is switched on opposite sides. The boots are completely different. Well, again, this has way more nicks and stuff like that. I believe this is based off the second movie, so it really makes sense because it essentially is the same suit. So you have all these nicks and stuff like that and cuts, and the boots are completely different. As you can see here, these ones are way more clean and smooth looking. And then for the baby knife, it's just the same holster, and I believe it's also the same knife. Taking this one out here. Yeah, they're pretty much the same, I think, right? Yeah, they're the same, flipping it up like that. These are the same, so it doesn't really matter. The katanas are the same as well. It's just obviously the paint deco is the biggest difference, especially the color red, which a lot of people prefer the darker red. I'm actually in the minority. I prefer the brighter red. I think it looks really nice. Does it make it look a little cheaper? I definitely think so on camera. Like on a lot of cameras, like where the light is really, really bright, it definitely just looks a little more bland. For some reason, the darker red just adds a little more to it. I don't know why. I can't fully explain it. Maybe the texture pops more, especially the texture they used. But as you can see, the upper torso is completely different as well, because we have all these gold bits up here, and that this black portion that just goes down into this diagonal strap that he has, where this is just plain red. And I actually love this design a lot more, and I think overall it's a really nice looking Deadpool suit. It reminds me of the Vintage Comics one, where he would actually have that diagonal strap and that one that attaches with it, as you can see right on the screen. So this one, although I do love this, and I love the way the suit looks in the movie still, and this is still an amazing figure, this one just kind of does it a little more for me in terms of the way it looks. Also, for some reason, the way this one just poses better, it just feels nicer. A lot of people, like some people are saying that it's too gummy, which I actually don't really think so. I've been able to push this figure to quite a few limits, and it's not warped on me. It's not like, you know, just turning into complete garbage, and neither is this one. But you can definitely tell that this one just feels older. You have the pins here, which just kind of weaken the knees a little bit more, and I think you can definitely see that here with how odd it actually looks. Where here it just looks way better presented. So that's really nice to see. I think for some reason these these little like parts, they're not really getting in the way as much of the belt here, especially if you lift it up. And for some reason these are way more bigger here, and they do get in the way of a lot. But you can move those out. I know Anthony's Custom said you'd rather just snip them off, and I think that's definitely a good idea, because as you can see, it is running into it, and it does have to push this up, which just makes it a little more hindering to kind of pose it, not feel as fun. And you might be like, oh no, I don't want to force it, and then you're not able to get the pose you wanted, and then you'll be like, this figure sucks because it doesn't have articulation. But it does. This figure is really good. I've posed this guy so much. I have yet to put the posing segment out because I wanted to get the Wolverine, but I recently stopped buying Marvel Legends. So I don't know, maybe for my birthday or something, I'll get that Wolverine and do some custom to him to make him have no sleeves, but that's for another video. But yeah, this Deadpool looks really great, and I definitely think it is better than this one here. But I do love these two both, man. These are both amazing figures, and definitely this is a base for this figure. They definitely took this and was like, okay, how do we fix the model? You know what I mean? How do we fix, you just add some touch-ups here. So, because they're way too similar to start from scratch. There's no shot. So, yeah. Also, something to note is that these little wristbands don't come off on this one, and this one it definitely does. So be careful; they will pop off on you. And yeah, so I think we can get into the articulation now. Actually, no. What am I doing? Accessories. I never got into that, did I? Well, he has the two katanas here, and these are the exact same from the first movie there. So you can just replace either or, switch whatever, it doesn't really matter. The guns are also the same. He comes with two pistols, which are actually in the gun holding hands, but I'm going to use the other ones from the other movie since they're the same. So yeah, they're the same pistols right here. I believe, I actually don't know. Maybe these are the Desert Eagles. I think so. But yeah, these look really good. They did originally with the Legacy Collection 1 too. And thank God these are able to be taken out this time instead of those stupid ones that were just glued in there and forced in there. He comes with two trigger finger hands here. I'm just putting one up right here, but he comes with two of them. As you can see, they are holding the same exact guns here, so those look really nice. And then, of course, he has the katana holding hands, which are on the figure right now, which don't have, like, the one where the thumb is on top. It actually is just fully like this. So that's odd to see, but that's pretty cool. And that's all we got. The only thing that oh yeah, also the baby knife, if you want to count that as an accessory. But the one thing that I'm really annoyed with is that with the other one, we got those same gripping hands, and then we got the same trigger finger hands, which are on him right now. And then we also got two punching hands. Not only that, but we also got two open stylized hands. Not only that, but we also got a unicorn figure, which or not a figure, a unicorn little plush accessory. I don't have that on me right now. While coming with everything that I just listed that this one came with. And they're both $25. So that's the one downside where I'm like, what the heck? Luckily, I have both, and for the people that are probably wondering, these do fit in like they are the same exact figure. Again, because I'm sure that this was just based off of the first movie one, so you could see it looks the same. It looks really good. So yeah, the only differences are you're gonna have inconsistencies because it's not gonna have that gold paint on there. You could do it yourself, but we really shouldn't have to. And honestly, with Hasbro, I'm very tired of some of the things that they're just doing. And $25, we should have definitely had the same accessories because clearly it could have been done before. But to move on, those are the accessories that this figure comes with. No unmasked head sculpt, and I believe because at the time that this was released, they didn't have, or Ryan Reynolds didn't sign his likeness on like anything yet. So yeah, Hot Toys just came out with one with a really good Ryan Reynolds head sculpt. So I feel like they're gonna do a 2-pack with a damaged Deadpool and a sleeveless Wolverine. And with the gold pistols and a Ryan Reynolds head sculpt and the same Hugh Jackman head sculpt with the Wolverine mask and, you know, the unmasked one next to it. I feel like they're going to do that and probably put it for like $70. But yeah, will I buy it? No. Again, like I said, I'm done with Marvel Legends, but it's nice to just review what I did get in the past. And this I did get not too long ago, but yeah. So like I was saying before, that's all for the accessory. So let's go on to the articulation. So he can look this high up, which definitely beats the one from the first movie. He can only look that high up. So it doesn't really look like it, but he can. He looks a lot higher up. And then side to side, that dumbbell's actually doing a lot for him here. While this one, even having a separate piece for the neck, isn't really doing much, and that neck is just kind of going right back into place. So that's really nice to see as well. Hasbro improving on their dumbbell joints. I will give credit because I've been saying for the longest that they needed to, and that's because they've been doing what I and other collectors have been saying, is that they put the ball not too deep into the neck here. I'm going to zoom in, and it actually has room to move around versus one like this. I'm going to take the katanas out, pop that head off, where he doesn't really have much room to move around. And even the neck is not even doing really anything either. So this having less of a movable neck and having a better ball joint results in better articulation, because it's not how many points you have or what you do or putting gaps in the back of the neck or whatever. It's how to properly engineer these pieces of articulation. So yeah, they did a good job here. I want to commend them. But if they want to, that just means now that they know how to properly do it. Hire the right people to make these figures, and there you go. So yeah, so for the head, it's really good articulation here. Obviously all the way around, all that stuff. And then for the arms, it's just a 90-degree bend, or not bend, but raise. And then you have the butterfly joints, which are really, really good. They're really nice, actually. They go back all the way and they go forward, which is really nice to see. Again, a good job on Hasbro. You have the standard bicep swivel, then a full bend, which is amazing. Really good articulation here. And then you have the standard hinge, which I wish it had the vertical hinge, because now Deadpool can't properly swing the sword. He can't bring that arm down like that when he swings. So that's stupid. And it wasn't like that with the first one either. Well, it was the same thing with the first one too. So that's a bummer. But then moving on to the torso, it's the standard ab crunch. So going back, he goes back really far, but it's bending these things, but they're pretty pliable, so they'll just go back to normal. And then he crunches forward a decent amount, and then the legs kick up 90, which is fine. I'm not expecting it to go up much higher anyway. And then the double jointed knees are decent enough. they're pretty good. And then, like I showed you before, splits, almost there. I think he just has too much going on for him to really push them to its limits, but I think that's how far it really goes anyway. And like you saw before, we have the upper thigh cut here, which is perfectly hidden by these straps, which is an amazing idea. I mean, it was kind of screaming at you with the design, but I'm really glad that they implemented it and actually took that. So really good job on that. And then no boot swivel at all, but you do have ankle articulation, which goes this far down. And you actually, I was really worried. I didn't get this figure for a while because I was scared that you couldn't bend it up, but you actually can a pretty good amount. And I saw that they just put the joint over the boot, but now, which bends it up that high, but now they were able to overdo that, you know, make it go over that sculpted piece, which is really nice to see. And I don't think they would have been able to do that if it wasn't for that slightly more softer plastic here. So in this case, it works. It's not too gummy. I've posed this figure around so much, as you'll see soon, and nothing bad happened to it. This is what it looks like after pretty much weeks of posing it and stuff. So it looks really good still. And the articulation is pretty good for especially an MCU figure now. Pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. All right, so since I don't have the Marvel Legends Wolverine from the Deadpool Wolverine movie or the SHF one, here he stands next to the Mafex comic book Tiger Stripe Wolverine and the CT Toys brown suit Wolverine. All right, and here he stands next to the Marvel Legends No Way Home 3-pack Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends based on Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker. And yeah, this is the closest thing I have to a comic-accurate Spider-Man because my Mafex broke. Here he stands next to the Marvel Legends Heat Claws Wolverine and the Hydra Bob and Deadpool 2-pack Deadpool here, which is also the same body as the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, so you could take this as a height comparison between those two. And to actually grab Hydra Bob here, let's put him next to him and see how he stands. Very old body, 2099 mold. So there we go. There he stands next to him. Here he stands next to one of the G.I. Joe classified figures and next to the Marvel Legends Cable. Here's how he stands next to the, Toy Biz 20th Anniversary Hulk, or you might as well be able to say the Maximum Series Hulk here. And then also, last but not least, here's how he stands next to the Sonic 3 Jakks Pacific Sonic figure. So what are my final thoughts on this figure? It's definitely a good one. If you were into the Deadpool and Wolverine movie and you wanted a Deadpool and Wolverine figure, then this one's definitely a good option. You don't need to get the SHF one, especially because I heard and seen that the SHF one kind of sucks, and I definitely think that Marvel Legends is the better choice. Although I don't have the SHF one in hand, so don't take it with a grain of salt. However, this figure is great. It's really fun, but it still has the typical things from Hasbro that hold it back. So I'm only going to give it a 7.7 out of 10 because it should have come with the other accessories, and that would have made it a blast. I did have a blast posing this figure, but only because I had those stylized hands. However, I was staying in a different area, and I didn't have all my figures at home, so I couldn't, at my disposal, so I couldn't just get these hands here. So I definitely felt the pain for a bit of not being able to use those stylized hands and posing this figure to the fullest. So yeah, I'll just give it like a 7.5 out of 10 because we should have gotten those hands. We got them before for $25 and we're not here, and it's kind of ridiculous. So, but yeah, either way, it's still a really good figure and they definitely delivered. So I do want to still give it a good rating and credit Hasbro for what they've done. So that is going to be my final answer. And posed here, he looks awesome with Wolverine. So that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please give this video a like. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so I can give you the truth on the next figure. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Spread peace, love, and be greater together. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.